Well, David, it's the end of the League Cup run, Carabao Cup, but I'd imagine you feel an immense sense of pride.
Yeah, look, I think there's two contrasting emotions from a night like tonight. Nobody wants to lose a game, certainly not heavily. So there's all those emotions that go with that. But then there's a great sort of sense of pride for what we've achieved in the competition this year. The result and the performance of the opposition tonight puts into perspective what we've achieved in this competition. Not just 2 rounds ago against Manchester United here, but even last round when we beat a team from 2 leagues above. It shows the level of performance in those 2 rounds, because tonight was the standard. As much as we don't like it, I thought they were excellent. That they showed what a Premier League team should be, and they were ruthless. I thought we were the better team for the first 20 minutes. We've had 2 great chances. Chaz had a chance. Dara should have scored by being inside the box and literally scoring a tap-in. But if you're not ruthless, you know the Premier League team will be, or certainly should be, and they were. I think the first time they got even close to our goal, bang, goal. 4 minutes later, another. And at that point, it's a mountain to climb, because that's the quality that they've got. So you have to give Brentford, enormous credit for their application and the level of quality and the work rate that they showed. It wasn't for lack of trying from ourselves. It wasn't for lack of application or what we are. And the first 20 minutes showed that. And if we'd have scored a goal, you just never know, because goals do change games. Don't get me wrong, I thought after 10 seconds they should have been down to 10 men. The challenge on Sam Lavelle is disgraceful. He didn't even get booked, but that's not the reason we lost, But I know for a fact if we had VAR, it would have gone, because he nearly castrated him. It was that high.
And like you say, that is the difference. The finishing and like you say, clinical. But at times, we're chasing shadows, weren't we? Really, in all honesty.
Yeah, I think we were trying to set traps, and we knew if we went after them, we'd probably be in a bit of trouble. It was different to the Man United game. Man United weren't as developed in their ways, whether that be in possession, out of possession, the transition phase. I actually thought we played better for that 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes, than we did against Man United, because we had more control of the ball. We had more control, whereas Man United in the whole game, it was really transitional. Both teams, both ways. So that was pleasing. We just didn't manage to keep it up for 90 minutes and didn't manage to score when we were on top. There's a huge amount of positives to come out of the cup run this year. I think tonight's result puts into perspective what we've achieved. And that's the challenge. The challenge is to replicate the first 20 minutes for 90 minutes in every league game. And if we do, then there'll be plenty of League 2 teams that find it difficult against us.
A fair play to you. We took the game to them like we did against Manchester United.
Yeah, well, we asked the players to work the socks off and be us. I can't, because we come up against a Premier League team and like an unbelievable quality and excellent Premier League team, can't ask them to do something completely different and new for the first time against that level of opposition. It's extremely difficult for that, and I think the fans appreciate it. They were singing and clapping in the last 5-10 minutes, and the claps was off at the end. I think they all could see the difference. It wasn't for lack of trying while we've lost tonight. It was literally we've got beaten by the better team, and quite rightly that should happen. But like I say, it puts into perspective what we did in the last 2 rounds, really. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that they had a lot of the ball at times. And, on another night, that first goal does go in, and it's a different kettle of fish. So, we'll lick our wounds tonight. But we are proud of what we've achieved in this cup run.
This has been a great experience, hasn't it, for everyone involved, coaching staff, players, fans.
Yeah, of course. I was speaking to one guy who's been a season ticket holder for nearly 55 years. So all the cup run a couple of years ago. So the win at Anfield, even the win at Everton, when they were the Arsenal of British football. And he said the Man United game is probably the best game he's ever seen Grimsby Town play. And this is a guy who's seen this football club thousands of times, literally thousands of times. So we've created memories that will last a lifetime, that are generational. Doesn't help us tonight. But we're in it to make memories and everyone feel proud of their football club. We haven't quite managed to achieve that again tonight. But like I say, it wasn't for a lack of trying. It was because we come up against a better team.
And before the game, there was a special buzz around the place. It's great to see 8,500 people inside Blundell Park.
Yeah. Well, the fans have been magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Like I said in the week, I think with every away game this year, we've took 1,000, with the exception of Barnet, where we took 900. You know, it's probably a couple of buses broke down or something, so we didn't get 1,000. They've been magnificent. They've been magnificent at home. They've been magnificent away. And tonight, you know, the atmosphere, the roar, the kick-off. You know, unfortunately, we didn't give them enough to cheer about tonight. But they've seen our team, our town, our community come up against the very best, and that in itself is progress. Last 16 of a national cup competition, that doesn't happen to every team. You know, I think there's no other League Two team. I think there's the only other one League One team, and Wickham have gone out tonight as well. You know, or Cardiff have progressed, haven't they? So it's like, it's tough to do that, it's tough to achieve that. So look, we've got to put tonight's performance and result into a bit of context, and to a lot of context. And, you know, come on Saturday, we've got to be the Brentford. That's the challenge. And then after the Everton game, when we go to Barrow, again, we've got to maintain them standards and play like we did in the first 20 minutes. And if we do that, then we'll have more positive results than negative.
And let's start another cup run on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly that. It'll be a tough game. Saw them last Tuesday. They're always tough. You know, like I say, I think Brentford found that for the first 20 minutes. They had to change, tweak bits of their build and tweak bits of their press. We didn't recognise it by goal. We've got to be the Brentford on Saturday. We've got to apply ourselves properly. We've got to show our quality and our class. That's the challenge for Saturday.
Cheers, David. Thank you.
Thank you.